All right. Looks like the circus is about to come to town. Expect major volatility. Not only, it is no coincidence into this week with the economic reports and the biggest company reporting earnings and the political coordinated theater happening. And remember, hedge funds are looking for an entry. Okay, so there's plenty of trend lines you can draw here. I'm kind of prepared for downside here. Different levels could look pretty brutal, but it is always a possibility, and I'm kind of favoring a huge down candle very soon. Not only based on the fractal that is showing post OPEX pandemonium. Obviously, we had a big sell in the end of the week, kind of deviated from the plan here. But one thing is for sure, this can get really ugly, and next week's possible, and I'm saying possible, rebound should be taken with caution. Okay, SPX here, we sold, we had those 333 and came down every time. Now support did hold here on Friday's gap down in that same area after that 10-10 candle, which is encouraging. And you have a pretty interesting setup here from the weekly, which is, I do want to point out now that the market could definitely be changing for a little while. And the reason is this inside weekly candle is not green. It is red, and previously when we pulled this move, it has been green the last 3 times. So unless we are supposed to start the center rally right out of the gate on Monday, I still think we need to go lower here at some point, probably in conjunction with OPEX. Now, we can look at individuals and chart and all of that, but the main culprit needs to be the VIX here. That is still elevated. It came down to test this party line, clearly rejected it, had dipped through it, clearly rejected it, and closed at Thursday's highs. Okay, now this is that August high levels. You can definitely springboard from here, but just to put things into a perspective where the VIX is at when you compare it to the market, the VIX is at the same spot as we were down here at almost 6,200. Okay, and we're up there. So you need to really put that into perspective. Second of all, this is still a cup and a handle. So for Monday, okay, for Monday, we still have a 684 ghost candle. So 2 things can happen. Monday's close was kind of shit. However, they did kind of fix it after hours with the announcement that Google shares or Buffett has taken a stake in Google, and the White House is gonna be working on data centers with Google. In the meantime, we now have Apple that is getting no love. But Apple also has not sold. Not only do we still have that wick unfilled, but we also have 2 more ghost candles to the downside that puts Apple in the gap. So again, there are now rumors swirling that Tim Cook will be replaced early next year. This gap fill will happen sooner or later, and this is my favorite short. Now, Nvidia earnings this week, really important here to remember that Apple can sell all day long if the rest of the market is good. You have a huge gamma wall up there, but you have ghosts now at 200 as well as 183. Okay, will I be playing this? No, but obviously this is a huge part of the equation. The equation being that you will get economic reports on the 19th and the 20th of this week. So what are they? On the 19th, I think you get I think it was the labor numbers, and then there was something else. So these two, right, are huge. But just looking forward here, the week after, on the 26th, you get core PCE. I don't know if that CPI report comes out here. So Monday will basically tell us, are we going to go up before the drop, or are we going to continue to fall and then rip out of that data when it starts trickling in here in the next 2 weeks. So as far as SPX, we are still working and backfilling on this bull flag, right? We did manage to close back in the flag. 3 options. Obviously we start running up, okay? Then we got to determine at some point, like, hey, is the market ripe to break the bull flag to the upside and get back into the trend channel? Max pain would be to start backfilling this megaphone here, and obviously third option is just send it to the depths of hell. And if you start sending it down now, you probably get to 64.90. Okay, which I mean, again, we haven't had one of these death candles in a while. That was a 2-day death candle. We're kind of maybe not primed for it, but again, you are going to be entering the territory where you have, you know, $12 overnight sales, and clearly you can rip $12 during the day. So there is absolutely no point in trying to chase a move, because volatility is majorly elevated, and this whole thing is reminiscent of this bullshit here. Okay, and I would say the deeper the crash, the higher the rally at this point. Okay, also there's been a lot of mentioning about currencies as of late, and I would not be surprised if the dollar trade comes back sometime soon. This week we saw a rotation into the Dow Jones. It doesn't feel like the Dow Jones put in an all-time high, but it did last Wednesday. So might be worth keeping an eye on. And here again, you have a pretty drastic megaphone pattern, right? And you could be getting some crazy volatility. And if you get that volatility, right, ride it for as long as possible and then get the fuck out, or you'll be screwed. Obviously, it wouldn't be the shit show without some political shit. This sell-off into next Tuesday's vote about the Epstein files, followed with the investigation, it is just legal mumbo jumbo to protect the hundreds of millions of dollars in payouts to victims of horrific crimes, so that those files probably never come out. Okay, so this is gonna stir up the game here, plus the meeting about the plumbing, meaning the repo markets. That is a major sell with a gap down too. But again, we know that it's going to 330. It got to 332, right? So what's the plan here with JPM? It is to try to monitor it, see when it bottoms out, and then we kind of know where it's going to go, because we have that target, right? As far as any ghost candles, it has none that I've found. Okay. This also showcases a change in the market here, in my opinion. For now, no actual buying on that bounce on Friday. So with this bounce, not the best pattern in the world. I wouldn't be surprised if we go down on Monday. At the same time, we rallied to the trend line, double tapped it. Pretty classic, can't rally through a trend line, you need to gap. So you need to gap over this if you're gonna go on Monday. And if you do, it should be, I don't think gap and crap, I think gap and rip higher, probably to this gap. Okay, that's the move to the upside that the premiums have priced in. Okay, and from here, it's pretty much bombs away. Now, if we go down on Monday, I wouldn't put them past these guys to try to get up here Tuesday, Wednesday. But Monday, this is set up on that Google News to rip higher. There's still time for people to rally this and get out before these economic reports. I don't think they'll be good. There's a reason they're also with Nvidia's earnings. Might be a smart move to kind of be a spectator at that point of the week, because there's plenty move to come. Bitcoin still hasn't reached our target, but it does look like you could get a decent bounce here and then finally go for it, right? But according to the trend line, that dip needs to happen like pretty soon, because then you could obviously overcut it. But let's see. Or is that close enough? Is that close enough? You know what I mean? So definitely watching this over the weekend. No doubt about that. Again, I don't think this market bottoms until the NAMO bottoms. And this would be kind of a perfect spot to bounce this a couple of days and then nuke it. And when I say nuke it, like this puke coming needs to be a big one at the end of the week. We're talking big. And that's why I showed you this 64.90 target. It makes sense for it to go there. It would be this rally here, measured move down, okay, down to here. It's kind of a random target, but it's not. It's a fib, right? And once that happens, especially if this happens, if all hell breaks loose Friday, you know, and carries over the weekend, which it looks like, you gotta let the IV kind of cool off before you start sniping in orders. So if our regular approach of trading works on Monday, Tuesday, and we get up to 684, I will probably, as I already told you, if we get there, probably start grabbing some Apple puts for next week that I'm gonna sit on for a little bit, and then wait for a complete reversal and Santa rally out of the depths of hell. We also have a UNH ghost candle up here, and healthcare has been absolutely on fire now for days on end. This is almost starting to look like a meta chart, right? So at some point, yes, do want to buy some puts on these guys. Absolutely, this has been an incredible run for us. Meta, I mean some 610s just watching, because for the rally, this is my favorite name. It does look though like I won't be holding that for very much long, because if you get a big puker, since these can sell $30 in a day, and that big puke is supposed to last 2-3 days, you're definitely gonna come and gap fill here. You might even undercut it and come down to here, and I'm not even kidding. I know it looks crazy, but it is completely possible. Think about it. To me, this looks completely coordinated, and somebody is really trying to bring in something nefarious and use the other side here politically, and really gunning for the web around the current president. That's my read on things. And I'm again gonna highlight the date, December 14th. I've seen that in various spots. Same type of dealio that pointed out that Bitcoin's top was when Bitcoin's top was. So something to definitely keep in mind. Another one that interests me here post earnings on the long side is Home Depot. Baba is very interesting to me. Now obviously still backfilling, but we never really got an explanation for this. Okay, and these guys are still holding, or it wouldn't be there. So maybe time for a China trade soon. Netflix, best trade of the week. Those contracts ran to 5,500, I believe. Plague caught this whole run up. I know there's a ghost to here. I don't know if it's high on my priority list right now to play it. Tesla's got a bunch of different ghosts. Filled the gap, came down to the 89. Like the Daily Stow here, one of the better names, I guess. But I personally need to see what these do. I think we're primed for a drop here. It's a buyable dip though. I just don't know how huge the economic fallout from these reports will be. Obviously, got to prepare for the flip side also, that they are so shit. They're so shit, which they will be, that the market decides that it's gonna bake in a giant Fed cut after all the Fed speakers besides Miran has said that you're gonna get no cut, right? Because that's always the game. Always the game. So, in conclusion, before we look at the calendar and some gamma, 90% cash at all times when you're in a trade this week. Why is that? The reason is the moves are gonna be huge. you want to size down on the contract amount because you will be paying way more money. The best approach this week is to play the extremes of the ranges, because let's say you buy 20-cent puts and you catch a sell, they're probably gonna get in the money. If you catch a ripper on 20 centers, even if they're $12 out of the money, chances are you will get in the money. The moves are picking up, okay? Whether it's a topping pattern or whether it's a shakeout pattern, right? Doesn't matter to us, we're in and out, okay? So really program yourselves. As far as Monday, this is the closing GEX. Again, you need a gap up, gap and go, or you're definitely going down. 673 level of interest goes without saying. Where is Monday the 17th? Monday the 17th, again, you need a gap over this to try to push into this range where I would short. Gap down or weak open, you definitely see 660, which crazy fast will get you already to your target if some bad shit happens on Monday, which I don't believe. Tuesday showing more of this upper range, which is encouraging for continuation on that rally. We're at 15. Okay, gotta jump to, sorry, this was Tuesday. All right, so Wednesday shows this range, and what I'm really interested in seeing is Thursday and Friday here. So look at this. Thursday. Why is it showing gamma down here? Let's jump back to Wednesday. Wednesday. So Wednesday we're still rocking up here. And then you get a drop Thursday. It's starting to highlight that. That is definitely concerning. And this is Fridays. Yeah, so it is possible that you eat major shit end of this week. I want to say it again. It is possible you eat major shit end of this week. What does it show for the 28th? Ooh, okay. Okay, so I just want everybody again to take into account that there's a possibility of this. Then remember, Thanksgiving is closed. That is a half day. Best scenario to fucking move the market on no volume high, majorly high, for a absolute gamma burst into December. Okay, especially if you get this. So, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. I guess the point is, please make sure you do not fucking blow up. How do you do that? You take a strike that we're looking at, you're sized pretty light, go into this week with the intention of honing in on your trading skills rather than trying to fucking be a hero. Note to self, okay? Because you can make a lot of money with less size. So Monday, Canadian blah 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 blah. Fed speakers are back because they want to yap more. Tuesday, Japanese data, ADP comes out again. Right there. I don't know if these are actually gonna come out here or not. They're just listed. Wednesday, mortgages, gas numbers, FOMC minutes, very interesting. Thursday, let's see, have they listed anything here yet? Existing home sales, okay. Japanese inflation numbers, holy moly. Maybe they'll blame it on the carry trade. These are listed here. Supposedly they're supposed to drop data. Then you get Michigan consumer sentiment on Friday, which will probably be the worst ever. And then I just want to see here if they go in next week and if they have this shit listed or not. No, okay. So again, that is the consensus here. Full moon on the 4th, November 27th. Wouldn't be surprised if that was the low. So let's keep an eye out for a bounce, but prepare for the big dumpy coming our way, which you kind of need in order to zero out the daily. So that's a bottom, that's a bottom, that is not a bottom. Same thing with the NAMO, you need it to capitulate. All right guys, God bless, and I'll see you Monday.